Hello everybody, welcome back to Greenlands. Once again I've had some mic problems, although I have now figured it out. I had switched off in the in-game settings the input from when I was playing multiplayer on Scruff's multiplayer server, and then never switched it back on, so for the second video in a row it never recorded. So anyway, as you can see, I've finished the baling of all the hay. I would like to say that I managed to stack all those on there with the loader nice and neatly, but I kept knocking them off and ended up having to restack quite a few of them with super strength. Now you'll notice that I have purchased a loader and bale spike for the Landini and also the Marshall bale trailer, although I may change the bale trailer for an auto stacker. Don't know if I want to use auto load in this series. It's a bit of a cheat, but I do usually use possibly the Roland or the Brogan from 4D modding. I'll have a think about it and possibly use that. I do like the Brogan from 4D modding. So as you can see, we have the silage cut in the fields on the left, and I'm going to drop the Londinian trailer off here and nip round to the Deutz, which has the forage wagon on the back. It's not a very big forage wagon, but at the minute we don't have a huge amount of grass to yield. I will roll fert everything onto the fields once I get the grass off of it. So as you can see, I bought some silage additives in the liquid tank pack, and I also decided that we are going to get some sheep. I haven't looked to see how many we could hold in the pen, but until you buy one you can't. So we jump into the Deutz. I'm contemplating selling the pig shed, as pigs aren't something I generally do on FS22. I may sell it and replace it with another large machinery shed, or possibly one of Cookie Cat's fenceless animal enclosures, whether I go sheep or possibly some more cattle. So we will nip through and start collecting up some more grass. We'll stick some of this grass into the sheep enclosure and we shall buy some sheep. So I just want to say a big thank you to Scruff for giving my channel a plug and a shout out, and for them making me member of the month of March on his Discord server. So anybody who's not there, jump on. Everybody's welcome. I also have to shout out a big thank you to Disturbed Simulations, who has helped me after this video. As you'll see, I have some contracts going on canola, some harvesting contracts. These are on canola, and the sell point is in the grain mill. And once I go to try and tip the first load in the grain mill, it constantly tells me that there is no space for canola. And thankfully Disturbed managed to find a fix for it by editing the XML file to add in canola, because it had been, although it was listed that it could be sold there, there wasn't actually any space in the placeable XML for Canola. So now with editing that in, it is working at the moment. Hopefully it will be fixed in an update to the map in the future. But for now it means I can carry on with the contracts that I take on. So once again, big thanks to Disturbed. So I am really enjoying the map, and I really like this Deutz tractor, one that the Deutz have never used on 19 or 22 so far, so this has turned out to be a good mod. And it's got plenty of horsepower, so we will look to upgrade the forage wagon in the future. Whether I go that route or possibly down the forage harvester route if we do some corn silage instead of grass, but certainly I think we will stick with the forage wagon for grass silage. We have, I think it's 3 silage pits. So as you can see, I'm using the outside one at the minute because I have the bales stored in one of the other ones, and some of the machinery is also stored in there. So I'm with my No Man's Land series that I was contemplating not doing anymore and possibly doing a multiplayer. I'm no further on in deciding what I'm going to do due to time restrictions with work. I'm kind of limited to sort of 1 video a week, so I want to try and progress this series for a bit, so it may be something that I visit later on as a multiplayer. I may continue with the No Man's Land as a time lapse and pre-record quite a few episodes to release. But at the minute, between this and playing on the Scruftopia multiplayer, I don't really have much more time. I don't even have a personal save at the moment. I was doing a farm blog on Scroft's Discord server on Calmsden Farm, and unfortunately when I was going to leave it for a while until the new update came out for the map. Decided last weekend I would do another little bit, and for whatever reason my save game became corrupted and I had issues with several of the mods I had installed, and ended up having to delete the save game and delete a lot of the mods, especially the production mods that I had for where I built the industrial area on the map. So once the update comes out, that is definitely something I am looking to revisit. As you'll see, I'm not very good at remembering to switch my indicators off. I am contemplating turning the traffic off and possibly making an auto-drive route on the map. But for once we progress a bit further and they're a lot more busy, but right at this present moment I don't see the need for one. So we just nip down to the shop to buy a cattle and sheep float. So we go for the I think it's Johnson Modular trailer, which is the flatbed, and then it has several other attachments. It's not in that section. Telling myself, even though I can't hear myself. There we have the cattle and sheep float, and there's the flatbed. So we keep everything standard with this, and then we're going to take a nip round to the animal dealer and get a few sheep. So hopefully you are enjoying my videos. I am enjoying making them, although I do get a bit frustrated with editing and when I make lots of beginner errors mainly with the microphone. I think it's something that I would definitely be able to solve if I had more time to do recording in bits and pieces, but being limited really to a Sunday morning is not the easiest thing to do. And as the weather and everything's getting better, I've got a lot of odd jobs to do and things outside around the house and the garden and a few fields and bits and pieces I have around the house. I want my dogs to look after, so time's going to be even shorter to make videos, but it's something I want to keep going with, keep trying to build the channel. So if you haven't done so already, please hit that like and subscribe button, and if you want, switch on the notifications for when I post a new video. Every like helps. So we're just going to take a run through the village to the livestock mart, animal market, animal dealer, auction mart, whatever you want to call it. It's generally called the mart in this part of Scotland. So that's where we're heading. And on the left, just at the back of the village, and then we have a quick look around. Now, I haven't come across any collectibles on this map yet. I don't know if there is any collectibles on the map to collect. Whether I would collect them or not, if we did find ones, I don't know. I think possibly, depending on the price of land, it may be something that if we come across collectibles and land is very expensive, we may collect them, not go looking for them, but if we come across one, collect them. So here we are at the mart. Quite a nice looking setup. Lots of sheep hurdles, cattle hurdles. Looks quite nice. We'll take a run round the back, where we have the milk sell point. We have a water tower, although I don't think we'll ever need to come to it, as there's a water fill point next to the river down the bottom if we need water, which I think would only be for the chicken enclosure. And then we also have the marked sell point for wool and bales. No, we don't want to buy it at the minute, we can't afford it. So we'll just take a run round the back and have a look. Don't think there was anything round here. So we shall go and buy some sheep. I can't remember what the enclosure holds. I want to say 65. So I think we buy 10 sheep. As you can see, indicator left on. If I use it more on my own saves, I would probably remember to switch it off. So we go for some Blackface sheep. We take the young ones. Ten will do, and we will let them breed. Or did I buy 12? No, 10. I did buy 10. So we shall head back up to the enclosure. We have grass, we have hay to put into the enclosure. So we have no shortage of food, and once the silage is fermented, we shall think about getting some cows, although I may wait until next year to get some cows, so we have a bigger storage of straw, hay, silage, and I have to remember and buy some mineral feed. I've never used the robot before, so that will be new. But I really like the detail on the inside of this tractor. Although it's starting to get a bit dirty, so I think possibly I may invest in a power washer in the next video. So we have a contract on the field on the left for canola. There's another one, I think, field 50 is also canola. And then I think there's 2 or 3 other contracts that at the end of the episode I accept. I think there's another canola and a couple of wheat contracts that we take on. So as usual, I don't leave machinery in the greatest of place to get past, so I have to get past the forage wagon. I think that tree might have to come out in the middle of the yard. Make things a bit easier. Certainly think I'll get rid of the pig pen, the manure point for the pig pen, because the fill point, if you're not using a loader, is in the middle of the sheep pen, which isn't very helpful. So yeah, 65 the enclosure holds. So we will let them breed away. We own the cattle and sheep float, so we don't have a problem with selling them once they get old, to make space for the young ones to carry on with wool, etc. I don't know what productions are on this map when it comes to wool, whether we can make some fabric and clothes. It's something we could definitely look at, and if there is no productions on the map, we can look into placing some. If we find a nice flat area, because I don't want to be spending an absolute fortune on landscaping costs, with this being a very steep map. I think there is a yard up in the top right of the map that's classed as being able to build your own agricultural yard. You must remember it's a modular trailer, and to drop off the right bit. I do like the trailer. It's something very similar to what's used in this country, certainly what I used when I worked on the farm. It was a Marshall cattle slash sheep float, very similar along that sort of lines, as opposed to the big American European style ones that generally tend to be in the map. So I don't think these take a huge amount. I want to say it's about 11,000 litres, it might be less. So that gets them fed, that'll keep them going for a wee while. Like I said, we've got the trailer load of hay to be split between them and the cows. There's plenty of grass field on the map, so we can buy some more. But we'll certainly do some work to improve the grass yield. So we shall get this tipped in here. What I do find is the usual story with the base game silos, the base game silage pit clamp, is that when you're leveling it, it decides it wants to push it all out the back and you have to collect it all up and put it back in. But on that note, I will do a quick jump into the combine, have it down ready, doing the canola in field 75, I think it is. So we have a farmer Franz, and the harvester cracking on. So we shall leave him to do that. Doesn't seem to be any issues. We will jump back into the Fent and we will nip on and finish off collecting some of this silage. So I'll stick this on a time lapse and see you all soon.
I don't know how you do it. You blow my mind without a word. Ooh, stuck upside down. I might be dreaming. There's no way back now. Take every inch of my body. Wanna dance with you all night long. Dive in, babe, you know we can't stop this. Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with you. I'll do it again and again and again and again. Why would I fight the things I'm feeling? Rather space out here next to you. Ooh, like astronauts, we're in the night sky and we won't come down. Make every inch of my body. Wanna dance with you all night long. Dive in, babe, you know we can't stop this. Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with you. I'll do it again and again and again and again.
Okay, so that's that field of silage done, and we shall carry on watching Farmer Fran's in the harvester. As you can see, I have the canola straw mod enabled, although I can't remember whether I have the collect straw missions enabled. I will have a look, and if it's not on, I think I will add it on, because the straw will come in handy for making TMR and bedding if we're going to have lots of cattle. So, on that note, now we are watching Farmer Fran's. We shall call it a day. Before the next episode, I will get the rest of the silage done, some of these contracts finished, and like I said, try and bale this straw. Even if I don't keep the straw, just sell the straw. It will certainly help us progress the series, as I don't want it to be too slow and stagnate. And then I'll get bored, and everybody watching will get bored. So on that note, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Farming Simulator 22.